what's actually happening in the brain and the nervous system during this phase? Well, I'm not a hormone specialist, but estrogen plays a major role in serotonin regulation. Dopamine, again, serotonin is our happiness factor. Dopamine is our motivation factor. So all of these emotions are totally impacted by the hormone changes because of estrogen change. Sleep cycles are impacted by that. Temperature regulation, becoming too hot, not being able to get cold, affecting your stress response. And then when estrogen fluctuates, the nervous system becomes more reactive. It's up, it's down, it doesn't know what to handle. And so it's just really frustrating. And so this means we've got less resilience to stress. We have increased overwhelm where normally would have been able to handle certain things. Now I can't. More emotional intensity, reduced tolerance to the overload. And a lot of women say, and I hear this from clients oftentimes, is like, I used to be able to handle everything and now I can't. And I don't know what's happened to me. And it's not a personal failure. It's a physiological shift. You know, the human body is only capable of so much. And when that stuff starts to change, we can't really do anything about it, really, without intervening medically. So perimenopause lowers our nervous system's margin of error. It doesn't have as much capacity or room to tolerate the things that it once was able to. And so, like I talked about a little bit before, related to the panic and the anxiety, we can have some identity loss, and there's emotional grief during perimenopause that can happen. You know, this young, vivacious, potentially fit, able to carry more muscle, more energy, better sleep, all those parts of ourselves that are different now because of hormonal change can be something we have to grieve, and that can be really hard. And so one of the last discussed aspects of perimenopause really is that grief. We're grieving the body that felt predictable and understandable, and the energy that we used to have, the emotional regulation that you relied on to handle life's stressors, and that version of yourself that coped more easily and could handle things that now create overwhelm. There's grief in that. Fidel talks about this openly and how perimenopause can feel like waking up in a body that you don't recognize. And then, you know, as that happens, it triggers emotions in us like shame, self-doubt, insecurity, fear of aging, a sense of invisibility, you know, and as time goes on faster as we age because of more of our lifetime being behind us. I've noticed in myself that even happens. I'm like, I look in the mirror and I can't believe, I'm like, how am I almost a half a century old? I don't feel like I've done enough yet to have had that be my story. Yet here we are, more than halfway through life for most of us. And that's really strange. It can be overwhelming. And for some people, there becomes, as we age, especially in women, kind of a sense of invisibility. It's not vanity, it's identity disruption. And so I think that that's something that we really don't talk about, and we need to change that. Now we're going to talk about how all of those things in the individual, when happening to women with perimenopause, how it impacts our relationships. And I think that this is something that's really important to understand. It doesn't happen in isolation. We are not in a box when we're in relationships. So our changes individually do impact the interconnectedness in a relationship. And so some of the common relational impacts that happen while in perimenopause are reduced sexual desire, sometimes because of the inability for arousal, sometimes because of exhaustion and fatigue, sometimes because your body just doesn't work the way that it used to.